dad. Well, it affected all of us, but Christopher did change in some ways.
He couldn't perform, he couldn't do anything. His brothers, they were trying to tell him, go back, and, you know, Dad wants you to go continue, he doesn't want you to stop. And you know, I told him the same thing.
Learning and understanding our dad and what he went through, of all of the anguish and the pain, his positive, nurturing attitude just brushed off. How could it not? You got a man dying, and he's dying, and he's still talking so positive about life and succeeding.
I just realized that I was never going to be the same, and that I was going to take this experience, and I wasn't going to allow it to be negative. I wanted to use my father in a positive way, because my father was the most positive person that I ever met.
Criss called and said, now, you know, I'm really focused. I really know what I want to do. And he went gangbusters after that.
An annual Halloween festival held in New York's famed Madison Square Garden seemed like the perfect venue for Angel's brand of magic.
Madison Square Garden was 40,000 square foot, you know, interactive, haunted adventure. They had this really interesting Gothic look. I thought, yeah, he could work in our show.
I put together a performance, but there was one big catch. I would have to perform this 14-minute performance up to 60 times a day. Don't try this at home, why don't you?
Nice.
Oh, my.
Hey, thank you. He got a lot of recognition for that. People started to know who Criss Angel was.
Criss wanted to capitalize on the exposure by developing a live magic stage show called Mind Freak.
Criss's perception of magic was that it was stale. Everyone was doing the same thing. He wanted to do something that had never been done before, to take music, illusion, and take it to the next level.
But it was a tough sell.
We must have taken 60 different meetings with everyone from Broadway producers all the way up to Steve Wynn in Vegas.
We didn't really get a lot of response. Everybody was just sort of like, neat, really cool ideas, good luck, you know, thanks.
I was just so frustrated hearing people that had such prominent positions who didn't get it and just kind of regurgitating that same thing. And so I just said, you know what, enough of this nonsense. I'm going to take matters into my own hands.
He needed money to put together that show. I said, you know what, we'll ask Mom. Mom's got the house. Let's talk to Mom as a family and see if, Christopher, you can refinance the house.
Being my amazing mother, she says, go for it, honey, if you really think you can do it. And I said, look, if it fails, I'll get 10 jobs, I'll pay it back.
So that's what we did. We mortgaged our house, we gave him the money.
With financing locked, Criss secured a small stage at the 150-seat World Underground Theater in New York City. Next, he began laying the groundwork for his off-Broadway debut.
We started casting people. We started building the characters. He wanted the special effects that you saw in the movie theater with Terminator and with all these other big action films. He wanted to bring that onto the stage.
I wanted to make people leave there and be like, oh my God, you got to see the show. It's unbelievable.
Mind Freak debuted on Halloween night 2001. The 65-minute stage show combined sleight of hand tricks and large-scale illusions.
Everyone watched in amazement, and they all loved the show.
But this was only the beginning.
Criss goes, I want to do a publicity stunt. I hang myself from fish hooks. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? How do you do that? No, you can't do that.
I said, I really want to try to do this, and I want to do this for 6 hours, which would be the record. And I want to do it right in the middle of Times Square to promote my show.
In February of 2002, Angel hung suspended from 8 meat hooks in Times Square for nearly 6 hours. Then, Criss pushed himself even further.
I just got done doing the body suspension, which was very visual, but it really didn't tie to magic or escapes or anything like that. It was more of just a performance art piece.
Criss next attempted a terrifying escape from a sealed water chamber.
I thought that if I could stay underwater with literally 10 pounds of shackles and leg irons, spend the first hour upside down, the remaining 23 hours right side up, and then live on television and in front of thousands of people in the middle of Times Square, escape. That would be wow. That would get me a lot of attention. There were all sorts of complications. You know, there was so many lights there that the water would heat so much and the temperature would change from hot to cold that, you know, I became very, very ill in there. The moisture of my body was depleted. My mindset is that I was going to get out of that in either two ways, by my own will or in a body bag.